we're talking about the snake in the Garden of Eden, the snake that Adam and Eve encountered, the snake that deceived them to disobey God, and then that's how men fell into sin. And I did say that the sin that occurred at the Garden of Eden was not the first sin ever, but it was the first sin that man has ever committed. There are sins that were committed by angels, the fallen angels. So that's a sin between fallen angels and God. But the sin at the Garden of Eden is the sin between men or human beings and God. So in that video, just to bring everyone on board, in that first part of this teaching, I was trying to explain to people. In fact, I was just trying to make people to understand the revelation that I want to share with you. So I'm just going to repeat what I said, just a few things. People of God, God created human beings. God created every animal, including the snake. The snake that we later learned that disobeyed and deceived Adam and Eve, and then that's how they sinned, was also created by God. There is no animal that just popped up by itself on the surface of the earth, but every animal God created. And every time, if you read Genesis, the story of creation, every time God has done something, the Bible says, and then God was pleased. He saw and he looked at everything that he had created and he was pleased, and saw that everything was good. So even after he created the snake, even after he created all the animals, we saw that the animals that he had created, including the snake, it was good. Nothing is wrong. So if now you read Genesis 3, the Bible says, 3 verse 1, it says, now the serpent or the snake, or let's say the snake. So the snake that God had created was the most cunning of all the animals that were created. Some Bible says was more crafty, meaning was more deceptive, was full of deceit, more than any animal that God had created. Some Bible says the snake was the most shrewd animal that God had created. You must understand that everything was created by God. Every animal, whether in the waters, in the air, crawling on the ground, walking on the ground, God created the snake. Now, God creates every animal, including the snake, and then he creates human beings. And now we are told that the nature of the snake that God created is a cunning nature, is a deceptive nature, is a cunning nature, is a crafty nature. That's the nature of the snake. I don't know why out of all the animals there, in fact, all animals, they've got their own nature, but the snake, it happened that the nature of the snake is deception, cunning nature, crafty nature, shrewd nature. That's the nature of the snake. Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. Now we move on. Life continues, and now the snake deceives Adam and Eve. And then the snake is cast by God. The two human beings, Adam and Eve, um, are told, in fact, are kicked out of the Garden of Eden. I'm going to use that word. They are kicked out of the Garden of Eden, and then God sends angels to take care of the garden, to guard the garden, because human beings have now fallen. And God curses the snake to say, you have deceived my people. So he begins to curse the snake. Now the snake is cursed. And if you just go and read this, I don't have time to explain everything. So after God has cursed the snake, life continues. And now if you read Genesis 6:7, the story of Noah, God sees how wicked the world is, the kinds of sins that are being committed. He decides that he's going to destroy every human being, including everything, every animal that is living. He speaks to Noah and says, Noah, I'm going to send floods, but I want you to build an ark. And then Noah builds the ark. When he's done building the ark, God says to Noah, Noah, take your wife, your sons, and take your sons and also your sons' wives into the ark, because of floods. The floods now it's going to start flood. It's going to start to flood now. Now, and as you do that, take pairs of animals. Every animal I've created, take pairs, take a male and a female, and take them into the ark. Save them, so that after the floods have gone down, the water has gone down, they will be able to reproduce. Now, this is an opportunity